are going to talking about the global perspective of special education. I'm Aigadi.
I'm Kanye.
I'm Ruth.
I'm Yuan Hei Yi.
I'm Tim. Now I'm going to talk about what is inclusive education. Inclusive education is different with integrated education. Comparing to integrated education, inclusive education are more hard to implement. It promotes a sense of belongings, diversity, and acceptance among all students. Inclusive education is focusing every student, which integrated education is focusing just on students with special needs. Now I'm going to talk about the global trend in training and professional development and how to help students adapt in inclusive class. In training and professional development, global trends are willing to provide more SEN trainings to teachers. However, only pre-service training may not be in-depth enough for effective training, and Hong Kong is yet supply of SEN teacher lags behind service demand nowadays in Hong Kong. For how to help students adapt in inclusive class in global trend, we will establish an ambitious minimal expansion for behavior, apply those rules consistently, approach low-level disruption delicately, and give every student a chance to be heard. Create a scaffold learning environment and recognize the unique requirements of each student in the inclusive class. Now I'm going to talk about the introduction of Hip Hop Society. Hip Hop Society is one of the biggest children's education and rehabilitation organization in Hong Kong. It was established in 1963 and it is dedicated to assist kids and young adults with a range of talents in realizing their potential, boosting family cohesion, and working together to build a just and peaceful community. And I'm going to talk about the mission and the vision about the Hip Hop Society. Hip Hop Society is going to maximize the potential, empowering families, and facilitating the inclusion. Hip Hop Society serves over 15,000 families annually by offering on-site assistance to mainstream primary, secondary, and kindergarten school via a number of service units. And for the vision of Hip Hop Society, it will be pioneer and create a better tomorrow for children and youth with their diverse needs.
Now, I would like to tell you about the difficulties faced by SEN students in mainstream schools according to the survey conducted by the Equal Opportunities Commission. In the academic achievement aspect, about 30% of SEN students are unable to acquire certain study skills like note-taking, problem-solving, and unable to learn independently. Besides, 20% of SEN students believe that they cannot understand the teacher's teaching content, while in the social performance aspect, around 30% of them feel being harassed and teased by classmates at school. They also believe that they have difficulties in social interaction, especially in participating in combined school activities, creating a social circle, communicating with peers, and getting along with peers. Nevertheless, in the aspect of expression of emotion, 90% of SEN students felt that they cannot concentrate in class, and 13% of them felt that they are interfering with the study of other students. Also, 7% of students with SEN are unwilling to attend school on time. In terms of social and emotional performance, SEN students with intellectual abilities, emotional and behavioral problems, attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, and autism are seen to be more troublesome.
Now I will introduce the Hip Hop Society Summer Program, and this program can help SEN children in mainstream school. First is Primary 1 Adaptation Program. This service object is Primary 1 children with special need, including children with autism, hyperactive disorder, and developmental delay who are enrolled in mainstream primary school. Second, the content of this program is it will have 6 members per group, 8 sections in total, and the content focus on children's social adaptation and school life adjustment after entering primary 1. And this program can assist them in adapting to life after entering primary 1 in mainstream primary school. Also can improve the SEN children's social skills and adjust the school life habits. The second program is support scheme for children with autism to advance to primary 1. And this program will have 5 parts. The first part is children's group. It will have 10 sessions of preparatory and 10 sessions of intensive comprehensive transition training. After that is the professional guidance. Psychologists visit children training groups to observe the classes and provide professional guidance. Then it is the children's day camp, the summer 5-day school experience camp that can enable children to practice their learning and develop their group skills. Also, it will also have the information talk to organize multi-parents and teacher skill. Finally, it also have the therapeutic groups, specially designed training group and individual consultation service is conducted by speech and occupational therapists. And this program can help children with autism face the new challenge of entering mainstream primary 1. Also, teachers and parents can gain a deeper understanding of special learning and communications needs of autism students through this talk. They can also learn how to help autism children to integrate into the mainstream primary school life. And these 2 programs also can assist in implementing the concept of inclusive education, like students with special education needs can attend ordinary school to integrate into the classroom and fully benefit from the education. Next.
Let me introduce what training about hip hop society has provided to teach SEN students. The programs called Professional Development Programs on Catering of Students with Diverse Needs in Kindergartens. Hip Hop Society has been commissioned by the Education Bureau to run a course of kindergarten with special needs in the 2023 to 24 school years. The course is designed and taught by Hip Hop Society senior educational psychologists, therapists, and senior children care teachers. The program is approved by the Education Bureau and eligible kindergartens. They are part of a substitute teacher allowance from the Education Bureau to a range of teachers to receive training. The program's aim is to increase educators with effective teaching and support strategy to cater of the special needs of students. The programs are divided into 3 main courses: base course, advanced course, and thematic course. About base course content, it lets teachers learn about early childhood growth and development, individual learning difference, and learn basic evaluation theory and techniques, etc. The course can improve teacher knowledge and skill for children development and difficulties. Also improve their curriculum and teaching strategy for children. Finally, promoting inclusive education and best practice strategy to achieve this. About advanced course content, it lets teachers learn about type of special needs, application of reactive intervention models, and advanced assessment technologies, etc. The course can improve teacher knowledge and skills of advanced assessment and design a support and develop individual education plans. Adjust teaching strategy to accommodate a variety learning styles and ability and help SEN children enter mainstream schools. Then I will pass the time to Kelly.
This is a thematic course for kindergarten students with special needs. The course covers understanding ASD. Teachers in this course can learn about systematic and meaningful assessment and intervention, social communication development and assessment methods, and assessment and intervention for emotional regulation and social communication difficulties. This course can help teachers develop professional competence and knowledge in individual categories, including improving their ability to assess children's performance and take care for children's needs. This can help teachers practice the integrated education, communicate effectively with students with learning needs, and help children enter mainstream schools. The first suggestion about in all degrees, teacher training is regulation. In Taiwan, there are 3 regulations have been enacted to regulate teacher training. The first is that special education service personnel in mainstream schools must have special education related majors and have completed more than 3 credits of special education courses. The second is that schools must meet a government requirement of at least 3 hours of special education training per year. Third, offer special education courses for mainstream school teachers and minimum 50 credits. In 2017, the survey results show that the total number of teachers receiving teacher training is 9,885, and the proportion of inclusive education teachers in the total number of teachers is 90%. It can be seen that through legislative supervision, the proportion of teachers participating in training is higher. This helps teachers gain more professional skills to take care of all students. Therefore, Hong Kong can serve as a statutory requirements for teacher training. Next.
Let me provide some information about inclusive education in Hong Kong. The training courses received by pre-service teachers are flexible and single. For example, pre-service training for bachelor degree programs is offered in modules only, with approximately 60 to 19 hours of study. Also, teachers like practical content and following up guidance because the training is usually in the form of lectures, essays, and presentations are assessed and not an internship in an inclusive education environment, so that teachers can lay a good foundation to care for special needs students. In the long run, teachers should participate in pre-service training to understand the learning characteristics and needs of SEN students and provide them with appropriate support. Then I will refer to the UK inclusive education legislation and make some suggestions. The inclusive education legislation in England has some legislative training for trainee teachers. I will introduce some detail of the legislation. It is including special education as a compulsory unit with approximately 200 and 300 training hours, requiring to spend at least 24 to 32 weeks in a true school. Teachers can choose the internship in a school with special education classes. And the results in 2018 have 69% of trainee teachers after receiving pre-service training, self-rated as well prepared to teach students with SEN, and the ratio is well above the global average. Through the results, we think teachers need to prepare before work and avoid insufference training in the future. If it cannot avoid, it affects the implementation and integrated education and fails to meet the needs of students, so that Hong Kong could follow England's example to prepare for inclusive education. To conclude, although pre-service training in Hong Kong can recognize each SEN student's learning trials and needs and provide them with necessary assistance, Hong Kong can also refer to Taiwan that the requirements of special education training course in special education for teachers in mainstream schools, and also in England, they include special education in required modules, internship, and a special education program at a school. Thank you. This is the end of our presentation, and here is our reference list.